Steve from Custom Table Tennis, and what we're going to show you today is our top 5 selling non-tensor rubbers. We've done our top 5 tensor rubbers and well, game up for this one, but what I'm going to do, so I don't reveal the next one, I'm going to take it out the way and bring this one back in. So this is number 5 on our list. It has been higher, and in all honesty, it's probably the world's best selling rubber if you take into account that it's a Chinese rubber, and we know it's the top selling rubber in China. The company, if you didn't know, the company was founded in September 1972. Very, very popular with coaches. Incidentally, if you do buy it in the UK, make sure that you get this packet version. Don't buy stuff from overseas where it's not meant to be. It doesn't have the quality of the European version, and we see all different types, and we've seen people at trade stands who, you know, say if you buy a blade, if I buy a blade and a rubber, will you put this one on for me? And so we don't really want to, because the quality is not high. If you're going to get it, that's the front of the packet. I'll flip it over to the back. Make sure you get this packet version, but I'll show you another packet version that we get when they've run out. I mean, look, they're still going on about somebody who won in 1995, but this is the version you should get. Make sure you get this version in the UK. Rubber quality, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, if you're getting this type of rubber, and you're sort of beginner, intermediate, and you want a sticky rubber, it is quite a tacky rubber. I can just get that started there. It's got tacky on it. What I will do in the next coming weeks, I shall go through the differences in the different Friendship rubbers, but at the moment we're just doing the top 5. This version, sponge hardness medium, and it comes on the orange sponge. So what we included in this, because it's a Friendship 729, is the blue sponge version. So the blue sponge version, and this is where I can show you the packet difference. Obviously, well, if you didn't know, you can only have the blue sponge on the black. So same information on the back there. But what players tell me, and a lot of players have this on the forehand, and it's tricky to get hold of as well. So you've got the blue sponge version, very popular in the 70s and 80s and into the early 90s, because it's a nice sort of medium sponge, and players tell me, and they're probably right, play with it on the forehand or backhand. If the black is, yeah, it's got a little bit more stick than the red. Anyway, that's the blue sponge version, and then I can show you the packet which occasionally that we get. So don't be worried about this packet. It looks like that they've almost run out of this packet, and we get this one from time to time directly from Friendship, and I don't know why they've changed. We like this, the original packet, and it's got a little bit, it's a bit different, but it's a genuine packet. So that's our number 5. Moving on then to number 4, and we had to decide whether we were just going to do, this is the top selling rubbers. If we count this on bats, it will probably be number 1, because we have this on a lot of bats. But that's the front of the packet. It's Gambler. If anything, the quality's a little bit higher than the 729. Nothing wrong with the 729, obviously it's our number 5, but the quality is a little bit higher. I'll show you the back of the packet. It's got a little bit more technology in it, because it's more of a modern company. Don't take that into account. It's just the manufacturer's take on it. You can't compare that. I mean, look, it's based on their own ratings, and this is a pro competitive version product, but it's a nice rubber. It's a beginner rubber. Intermediate to beginner. On this one, pull the corner off again, and on this one, yeah, it's quite tacky to get hold of. Getting there in the end. and this is the tacky version. So think of the Friendship. Yeah, it's a different type of tacky. This is more like a sort of butterfly tackiness rather than the Chinese sticky. So the Gambler 7s, that's our number 4. You've seen the back of the packet, haven't we? We've looked at that. And then pulling that out of the way. And then the next one then is the Gambler 0 rubber. Now, as you can see, this says mechanical. What does that mean? It means it's more about the grip than sticky. It's an inverted rubber. It comes on the 2.1mm sponge. The packets are a bit confusing because you've just got this black there. I'll flip it over, and it's got a little bit less spin and a little bit more speed because it's a grippy rubber. So it's more in line, if you like, with a European type of rubber. And if I just peel that off once again with a bit more look, yeah, and yeah, very, very mild, if any, on there. So if you're looking for more of a European style rubber without breaking the bank, the Gambler 0 is the way to go. So that's our number 3. Moving on to number 4, and this is where it, number 2, yeah, moving on to number 2 is the Intro, and this is where it's a little bit more interesting because we're getting into German rubber. The quality of the first 3 rubbers, well, 5, 4 and 3 Chinese, this is German. That's the front of the packet. This is the Lifetime Plus Intro rubber, made in Germany, and this is our number 2. It sort of creeps onto the list periodically. If you don't want a full-blown hybrid rubber, or you don't want a Tensor rubber, this is the Intro, and it's called an Intro for a reason, because it's the introductory model to the Vega series. So let's have a look at it. What do you get? So you've got a high quality product made in Germany on there. You've got the hypoelasto engineered spin BIOS rubber. Very, very popular. It's just a very, very durable rubber, and it just falls short of being our number 1. Great rubber, great rubber. So moving on then to number 1, and we've just ordered more. I've to get it back into stock, and it's the Xiom Musa. Very, very similar to that one. It's got the Physio-Elasto engineered spin BIOS, IT chef approved. Been around a while, but it's just such a durable rubber. If you're thinking, I'll show you the back of the packet. Pause on there if you like. If you're thinking, this is why our recommendation, if you're old school and you're coming back and you've been using Mark 5 or Shriver or just, I don't know, T-Bar Vari-Spin or something like that, this is the go-to rubber. It's very, very durable. It's made of pure natural rubber. There's no synthetics in this whatsoever. It's a bit of a, the smell will dissipate, but there's a little bit of a smell with it to start with, and then it'll dissipate. Really high quality. It's got everything on there, and it's got the markings on the back where the factory batch number marking. We've never seen a bad one of this rubber. So this is our number 1, not by a great margin, probably by about 4 or 5% over the Intro. So the number 1 selling non-Tensor rubber for us is the Xiom Musa. It's available to buy loose. It comes in, I think it's not, is it 0.82 and max?
1.8, yeah.
Yeah, 1.82 and max. So you've got a variety of thicknesses, and it's available on our bats. We have it on all our bats. Obviously, the slower the blade, the more control that you're going to get. But just a great all-round rubber. We highly recommend this. Coaches love it. If you're coming off the Chinese and you're not ready for a full-blown Tensor rubber, this is where you want to be, along with the intro. The intro is probably just a little bit quicker. So Steve from Custom Table Tennis, hit the like and subscribe and get your stuff from customtabletennis.co.uk. Bye for now.